Mexico got scattered activity down into the northwestern Caribbean Sea, also the eastern Pacific Ocean as well from western Mexico coast to the storm. We're going to be talking about Tropical Storm Philippe, Tropical Storm Rina, your watches warning advisory map for your location across the nation, and also we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Saturday, and Sunday, as we got a few areas of marginal risk we need to talk about in today's video. So, if you have not subscribed, once again, go ahead and smash that subscribe button today for me. If you know anybody, Philippe. Alright, as you can see here is the imagery of Philippe this afternoon. Getting his act a little bit better this afternoon. Getting a little bit stronger. Like I've been talking about for the past few days, I would not be surprised to see this storm become a hurricane. And the latest indication, there's a possibility this system could become a hurricane as soon as Rina gets out of the picture. It had a little bit more time to gather a little more strength, and it in northern tropical Atlantic. Alright, we're going to try to get to the forecast cone by the National Hurricane Center, then we'll look at some model guide. The forecast cone for the National Hurricane Center. See here the wind field, pretty large wind field already beginning to get in large tier. Kind of meanders all the way through Sunday, just kind of in the same vicinity. By Monday, it finally moves up to the north. Then it finally gets some forward speed. It continues to push on off to the north. So these storms, like I said, Philippe will finally push out of here sometime probably around mid to late next week, and probably push on into the northern tropical Atlantic. Alright, if you're tracking the system at home, it's located near latitude 18.3 north, longitude 55.3 west. Maximum sustained winds are 45 miles an hour with higher gusts, and moving is to the west-southwest at 2 miles per hour. Still classified as a tropical storm with winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. Alright, let's take a look at the forecast. Computer model guide suggesting this storm should do. Most of them keeps it going to the southwest and then eventually off to the north. There's only one that keeps it going to the west. That's the outlier, but the remainder of it goes to the north. So Philippe should be out of the picture sometime by mid to late next week, or a little bit sooner than that. If we could get Rina out of the picture there, so this system can get on out of the way there. Alright, let's take a look at the intensity guided system. We've got winds of 40 knots, equal 45 miles per hour. This system do take it into a category 1 and 2 hurricane. I would not be surprised to see Philippe become a hurricane. Like I've been predicting for a while there. It looked like it was going to dissipate, but I said it has a chance it could become a hurricane, and look like the possibility is there per the intensity guidance and also what I'm looking at as well. Alright, let's move on to the Tropical Storm Rina. Rina over here to the kind of to the west of the system. Most of the action on this storm here is to the east and south of the storm. That's where the main action of Rina is at. All right, Rina. Okay, this is the forecast cone for the National Hurricane Center. As you can see here, the wind field of the storm, it had winds of 45 miles per hour as well. It keeps it a tropical storm all the way through Sunday at 8 a.m. By Sunday evening, by 8 p.m., it should become a depression and then finally become a remnant low over the tropical Atlantic just southeast of Bermuda. Alright, if you're tracking the system at home, it's located near latitude 19.4 north, longitude 47.0 west. Maximum sustained wind, like I said, 45 miles an hour with higher gusts. Moving to the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour. Like I said, classified as a tropical storm with winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. Alright, let's take a look at the spaghetti-o models, or the hurricane models, what I call it. As you can see, this current position takes it off to the northwest and then eventually off to the northeast. One the outlier wants to turn it back to the south. That's the outlier, but the rest of them takes it on off to the northeast. So that's why the National Hurricane Center has got it going up to the north and then dissipating over the tropical Atlantic. Alright, let's take a look at the intensity guidance of this system. Alright, you can see here we have winds of about 40 knots, equal to 40 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. Well, 45 miles per hour with 40 knot wind. Alright, as you can see here, the intensity guidance keeps it a tropical storm. Then it kind of over the next 36 to 72 to 132 hours out, drops it down. Few wants to keep it to a tropical storm status, so we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, National Hurricane Center is dropping it off at a tropical depression over day 5. Alright, well that's your tropical update. Now let's move on to the Watches Warning Advisory map you're locating across the nation. Alright, as you can see here, we got some flood advisory, flash flood warning, flood watches, coastal flood advisory extending all the way up here from Boston, Massachusetts, Connecticut region through southern New York, all the way down into eastern portions of Virginia. Then we got coastal flood advisories again from southeast North Carolina, all the way down to northeast Florida. Got a flood advisory there as well for northeastern Florida. Coastal, we got gale warnings extended into coastal waters, extended from up here around Boston, Massachusetts, all the way down to eastern North Carolina. Then from southern South Carolina down to northeast Florida. Same again over here in portions of Alabama, Mississippi, Mississippi border, all the way into southern Louisiana. We got a special weather statement for you guys down in southern Louisiana, eastern Texas. Air quality alerts for you guys here in portions of northeast Texas. Flood watch in effect for you guys here in portions of Minnesota. Also for some coastal flood advisory there right on coastal areas there in Minnesota. Red flag warning has also been posted for you guys in southern Wyoming, western Colorado, eastern Utah, and southern Arizona. And flood watches, like I say, for West Texas, southern New Mexico. Wind advisory is also in effect for much of Arizona, portion of Utah, portion of Nevada, and southern California. Winter weather advisory for the mountain range of California. And also we have some fire weather watches in effect for southeastern portion of Utah and portion of central Wyoming. Alright, Alaska looks pretty good. I got a few gale warnings around the south side of Alaska. Special weather statements right on coastal areas. Central and south, Hawaii and Chain Island, gale warnings there. Central and north looks A-OK. Prediction Center. Alright, as you can see here, we got general thunderstorms in portions of the northeast down to portions of Virginia, the Delaware, Rhode Island vicinity. Also down here in central and southern Florida, Florida Keys, across the Gulf Coast state from portions of Louisiana, southeast Texas, West Texas over to New Mexico, southeast Arizona, all the way up into Wisconsin, Michigan, and also into portions of Minnesota, and again over in portions of southern Northern California and southern Oregon. Marginal risk in portions of Kansas all the way into Minnesota and portions of northwestern Wisconsin. All right, if you live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Duluth, Maple Grove, St. Cloud, and Andrew, Minnesota region, you are in a marginal risk for this afternoon. The tornado probability remains less than 2% all areas. Damaging winds, large hail, pretty much same areas. So we're just going to go with the damaging wind area. This is Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all the way into North Fort, Nebraska and surrounding areas. The hail probability, same areas, pretty much Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all the way to Andover, Minnesota and surrounding areas. All right, that's for large hail there. All right, let's move on to day number 2. This is your Saturday forecast from the Storm Prediction Center. All we see is just general thunderstorms across the board, from central and South Florida to the Florida Keys, South Texas, West Texas, New Mexico, all the way up into northern Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, through the Dakotas. Same over in Idaho, through the bottom portion of California. All right, let's move on to day number 3. We have an area of marginal risk we need to discuss, and then we're going to wrap up the video. Alright, you can see we got general thunderstorm for central and South Florida, including the Florida Keys, southern Texas, back to New Mexico, all the way far west of Utah and Nevada, Idaho, and also into Montana, far east as northern Michigan and northern Wisconsin and portion of Minnesota. Marginal risk over here in portion of Kansas, Nebraska, all the way into through the Dakotas, portion of Montana, and over here portions of Wyoming. Alright, if you live in Rapid City, South Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapids Valley, South Dakota, marginal risk for severe weather for your Sunday. Same areas in the 5% risk area. This includes Rapid City, South Dakota, all the way to Rapid Valley, South Dakota, and surrounding areas. Alright, well, this concludes today's video. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon, folks. Take care.